it. You know it. Let's show it.
Who day? Who dare?
Who day is right, guys? Good morning. It's. I almost said it's Good Morning Football. Jesus Christ, I gotta stop watching that show. I love it though. I love it. And K. Oh God, I love K. Anyway, Monday morning quarterback. How you doing today?
Jesus Christ, the Bella twins, and they're pregnant, and he thinks the pregnant Bella twins are hot, and now this one.
How are you doing today, gentlemen? Another great weekend of football.
I'm fucking pissed.
I know you are, but you got to admit, dude, this is again another weekend of football where both games, I mean, for the most part, we could have had a blowout in the first game. We didn't, obviously. And then the second game was kind of boring in the first half. But hold on really quick. Brandon, who day? Only two quarterbacks have beaten Mahomes in the playoffs, Brady and Burrow. I mean, he's only been in the league for, 5 years? So give him wait. Fuck, man. Kay needs to marry Burrow already. I know. Like, she's been on him the whole season, pretty much.
So this girl Kay from Good Morning Football, she gets moist when she talks about Joe Burrow?
No, but she's been a big advocate. I mean, I think Joanne gets moist when we talk Joe Burrow. But no, she was a big advocate for the Browns. I mean, for the Bengals. So
and it appears Burrow's in a happy relationship.
Yeah, yes. All right, we're going to be talking about this weekend in football, a few other things in just a second. All right, my promise.
You need to cut that down about 15 seconds.
Well, besides that, I'm not going to cut it down, but my promise to you guys over the course of this week, but at least before we go on again with the show, is I'm going to try to get a better recording of it because you can obviously see it was from my television, and I'm sorry about that. Bengals are my team. That's my home team. All right, well there you go. Look, they had what was their odds preseason? 15,000 to 1 or something like that. What was it?
I have no fucking clue.
It's just crazy. But when Juwan gets back, look, we talk about rivalry. We talk about, how, look, we know Rams and 49ers are becoming a hated rivalry, right? And you could see with the physicality.
Dude, the fucking stadium was half red and gold.
I know. It did not sound like a home game.
No, it wasn't. But here's the thing, though. It's only like a 2-hour drive from San Fran down to LA, maybe 3.
Yeah. But
so, I mean, if you're looking at it that way, then yeah, I mean, you can see that. It's like like when the Giants fans drive to Philly for a game over in Philly. It's the same thing.
Yeah. No, Star Wars Fanatic. They only won 4 games last year. They went 4-11-1. That was just last year.
And 2 years ago, they only won 2 games. So
yeah, so not well. I think he just said it. Yeah, that's right because 2020 season. Yeah, so I understand where you're going. Yes, 2020 season was technically last year because 2 years ago because last year was the 21 season. But I mean, we're in 2022. I think that's where you got it mixed up. But yes, yeah, just last year they only won 4 games. But no, what I was gonna say is we talk about the rivalry between teams and whatever, but you got to sometimes talk about, class act and just being the better person. Anyway, what I mean to say is after the game, Burrow and Mahomes actually had a very touching encounter, right? And there was footage of that, and I just wanted to show that. As soon as Juwan gets back, we're going to do that. But I think that's what I mean by, the guys on the field when they're competing.
You mean not like some guy who plays on the Lakers that refuses to shake hands with people and walks off storming when he loses like a fucking baby?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying. Yeah, but no, but I'm just saying, my point is, when they're on the field, they're obviously trying to kill each other. But off the field, it's, you can obviously see that especially these guys of the caliber that they playing, like, both Burrow and Mahomes are, I would say at this point, you could say Burrow has cemented himself as one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. And it's just the mutual respect that he has for Mahomes is really shown in this encounter. So as soon as Juwan gets back. But anyway,
are we going to get into our team's news, or
did that shut you up?
Yeah, I actually just an hour ago they had the press conference with him, so I actually sat and watched it. So
yeah, I did too, buddy. I'm a Giants fan.
I'll tell you one thing though, the media is like so stupid asking questions to him.
What did you want to get off your chest? Because that's been bothering me now for a few
days.
What?
You know what the funny thing is? I'm actually glad I didn't. Because what I was going to say is I don't want Orchard Park Southeast.
Gotcha.
I didn't want that. But now that I listened to a few things, hearing Joe Shane talk, Dable doing his interview with Bob Papa yesterday, Dable doing the press conference today.
Yeah.
By the way, Patrick Graham is going to be the defensive coordinator / assistant head coach.
Why, he wasn't hired?
No, Dable already confirmed that he's keeping Patrick Graham on.
Yeah, if he doesn't get hired as a head coach.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's going to keep him if he doesn't go anywhere else.
Remember, I watched the same press conference as you did.
No, but I mean, whoever's watching us, though, they probably didn't watch the press conference. My fear is that I thought that this is going to become Buffalo Bills light. But now the way that Dable's talking and Shane and everybody, one, I wish John Mara would just shut the fuck up. Please, John Mara, please shut the fuck up.
I didn't hear him say one word.
You didn't hear him doing after the Shane press conference? He hogged the spotlight and everything.
Dable's going to be a good coach. Hopefully they give him time. His team is a shit show, and he may need more than 3 years. Well, that's why he wasn't, and I'm glad, I know a lot of people were, what did they think he was going to say? We're going to win next year? Like, he's not going to give any guarantees because he knows.
And that's one of the stupid questions one of the reporters asked him.
I know.
Oh, well, you look at the Bengals. He won 2 games 2 years ago, and now 4 games last year, and now this year doing the Super Bowl. Oh, tap the fucking brakes.
Well, it's also about pieces.
The only thing I'm worried about is Daniel Jones is still the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. And John Mara said it, and he's like, well, we screwed this kid up so many times.
They did.
Look, the whole thing is if you change coordinators or coaches, you should learn how to adapt to your new surroundings.
No, that's not how you do it. That's not how you develop a quarterback.
Well, then they're going to give this kid $21 million next year for no good reason.
Why would they give him $21 million next year?
Because year 5, his contract goes up to like 18 to 21.
All right, but he's only 1 year in his contract, so if he doesn't perform, they can get rid of him.
I'll tell you right now, if I'm the Giants and the only way I'm going to keep Daniel Jones, I want 30 touchdowns, anywhere between 32 to 3,500 yards passing, and 5 to 6 interceptions. You're not going to get that with Daniel Jones. Hey, Jim, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster. It really was. And that, that Bengals Chiefs game, I mean, down 21-3. And obviously we'll talk about that a little later. But again, another good weekend of football, and both games decided by a field goal. Not decided by a field goal where they kick a last-minute field goal, but for the Rams and 49ers, but the games were decided 3 by 3 points. So, look, hold on. Giants will be lucky to be good in 2 years, let alone next year. Cap hell is hard. Yeah, no, I understand that, and that's the point where and
that's the thing. That's another thing that wasn't mentioned, and I don't know why they didn't say that. That okay, our former GM made us go bankrupt.
Why would they have to say that in the press conference? It's about Dable.
I understand that, but no, I mean with Joe Shane and when Mara was talking about, oh, we screwed up Daniel Jones. I'm not getting Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
because he was asked that question directly, and he goes, "Look, no."
You know,
So it's not like they came out of a press conference and just basically said we're not getting Deshaun Watson without being asked. And he wasn't even asked that in a press conference. He was asked that like on the sidewalk. No, I'm only kidding. But no. But the point is, why would they even have to mention that? If you're a Giants fan, if you're Giants media, you know that Gettleman did what he did, and the cap, and they're going to suffer because of the cap space.
I mean, look, you can make a couple of trades here and there to lighten it up, and I know, and I got 3 on my list already that they should get rid of.
Okay,
and it's not Daniel Jones,
right? No, you wouldn't get rid of Daniel Jones because you're committed to him for a year.
I'm talking 2 wide receivers and a tight end.
I'm sure they do have a tight end. With New York being such a big market, I was surprised by the relative unknown hire. Wait, Brian Dable. Well, see, the other thing is too, like we were saying, we want somebody with veteran experience, very experienced. He doesn't have head coaching experience, but he's been in the league for like 21 years.
Yep. And he also coached, he was also under Nick Saban. He was under Belichick.
Yeah, he was in Alabama. Yeah. So do the video, quit working. Wait, what? Oh, so Juwan.
Yeah.
I was telling Mike, and I'm gonna show this. Oh, after the game, there was a brief encounter between Mahomes and Burrow, and I said, "Look, on the field, these guys are obviously trying to kill each other." And I'm not saying them personally because they're not on the field at the same time, obviously.
I get it.
But off the field, it's the mutual respect you have, and I just think it's something that I wanted to share really quick. So it's just.
Smiling with me, Coca-Cola has right. Have a Coke and a wow. Smiling with
Oh,
So
God.
yeah, I mean, he threw him an L, and Mahomes was grateful for it.
Tried to prepare you for it, Joe.
Hold on, really, kid. I have to bring this up to your dismay. BJ Hill is amazing. I love it. Oh yeah, Mike's my brother's the one that sent that to me. Oh wait, hold on. BJ Hill.
That was BJ Hill.
Jawan, help me out.
I know who BJ Hill is.
I mean,
It's bad. We're doing a football show.
I found my thrill on BJ Hill, but that was when I was in my 20s. But
help me out. Who's BJ Hill?
Help me, Howard.
Help me, Howard. All right, so look, let's get into it.
Brandon, who the fuck is BJ Hill?
Let's get into it. Oh man, he's gonna say.
Are we done with the Giants? I mean,
wait a minute. Former Giant traded for Billy Price. When did Billy? When? Who? Who they? Who him? Who him? Yeah. All right. Grim Reaper felt the burr. He got it. What'd you guys think of this game? I mean, look, 21-3. Holy shit. I almost turned it. Well, I know I was never going to turn it off. I'll be honest. But I, at one point, was like, holy shit. Like, I was, all right, this game is over. This is a blowout.
It was the same exact score. It was the same exact score at halftime on week 17. And Romo mentioned that.
Yeah. You know, in a big turn of events, obviously going for the throw with only 5 seconds left and no timeouts.
Well, you had a question, and I was trying to tell you that when we were texting yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to you, the reason why he was trying to call timeout, he forgot that Reed. I don't know why he called the timeout when he should have just threw the challenge flag for the spot. I don't know why they charged him a timeout.
Yeah, I don't know why. And I was under the impression.
I mean, it wasn't like the Cincinnati had the ball. It was 4th and inches. You had possession. You didn't have to call a timeout to throw a challenge flag. Well,
what I don't understand is, and here we go. I'm basing my knowledge on fucking John Madden football, but I was under the impression that if you call a timeout, you can't challenge because it's almost like you calling a double timeout.
No. So usually what they say is they call a timeout to give the officials another chance to look at it.
Right.
Because once you hike it, that last play's gone.
Right. No. But he didn't do that. I was under the impression he called timeout and threw the flag.
Well, Patrick, I think, was calling timeout because I don't think he knew if they had timeouts or not. So he was just trying to stop the play.
Yeah.
I think he forgot Reed called that timeout for the challenge.
No, I'm not talking about that. No, I know. I made fun of that play. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about when Mahomes was calling timeout when they had none left. I just mean, like, you said that Reed called the timeout and he shouldn't have. He should have just thrown the flag.
Right.
So wait, did he call a timeout and throw the flag?
According to the all right. So what the referee said is that that Kansas City called a timeout, which they should have never did.
Yeah.
They had possession of the ball. It wasn't like Cincinnati was rushing to get a playoff for him to throw the challenge flag. There was no need to call a fucking timeout. I don't know if the ref thought he called timeout or whatever.
Gotcha.
And we didn't argue, I guess. But then the challenge came when they said, okay, we fucked up the spot and they gave him the first down. They should have gave them back that timeout. There's a timeout with 1 second left at half before the half ended that Patrick can call that timeout so they can get the field goal off.
Yeah. Again.
If you successfully called it, you called it.
Yeah.
I can't give it to you.
That's the whole thing. I don't know if we called it or the ref accidentally thought he was calling it.
No. That play.
He had the challenge flag in his hand.
That play, Patrick was doing this. I saw that replay like 500 million times. He was doing this.
What,
so
at halftime or during the challenge?
You're talking about the goal line stand, right?
He's still talking. No, Mike's been talking about the challenge for the last 20 minutes.
About the challenge of the spot on 3rd and 1.
Oh,
and then somebody said Reed called timeout, and then Reed threw a challenge flag out. Why are you charging the Chiefs the timeout when it's supposed to be a challenge?
I got you. And Brandon, I do now know who BJ is.
Yeah, I'm looking at So with Bengals traded Billy Price to Giants for defensive tackle BJ Hill, who got them 6+ sacks and interception this week.
Good
Nick,
job there, Dave Gettleman.
Nick, me and Jawan picked the Bengals to win, so we weren't shocked that they won. It was just that I counted them out after it started because I was just like, all right, 21-3.
No, and the only reason why I didn't pick Cincinnati because you know I like Joe Burrow. Yeah. The only reason why I picked Kansas City is because they were my Super Bowl pick.
I understand that. It's the same reason why I went for Brady over Stafford. I was going for the Bucs. Meanwhile, because I picked the Bucs preseason.
I mean, it just goes to show you how much more Joe Burrow deserves comeback player of the year than Dak Prescott, though.
I still don't know. I don't know.
Only regular season.
Where's Dak? Dak is doing
nothing.
Dak is doing the next set of sleep number ads compared to him going to the Super Bowl.
But there are two things. Yeah, there are two things that are going against that, though, Mike. One, whatever happens in the postseason does not attribute to any of the awards.
That, though, but I think the argument can be said, though, that Bo deserves it more now than ever.
Why, though? Again, you're still talking about the postseason, though.
You can't say now.
Even before the season, nobody had Cincinnati winning that division.
No, Mike. I think you're mixing two different things. I'm not saying Joe Burrow doesn't deserve it based off of his regular season merit. I'm saying you can't add to his resume for the comeback player of the year.
Okay, but all right. Let me ask you this, Juwan. Let me ask you this though.
Okay.
Which division is tougher?
Yeah, Mike, I'm not arguing he doesn't deserve to win it. I'm just saying don't add playoff stats to it. That doesn't attribute to anything.
No, I got that. What I'm saying is, though, Dak plays in the worst fucking division in football.
No argument.
We can win 6 games easily just by playing Philly, Washington, and the Giants. There's 6 wins
hold
right
on,
there.
Time out. Hold on. Now hold on, because now you're walking yourself back. Let's not forget Joe Burrow does have horrible Ben Roethlisberger in his division. You feel as though Lamar Jackson is overrated, and he has Baker Mayfield in his division.
But that division is known as the black and blue division. Why? Because that division is so goddamn tough.
That's fair, but we have a quarterback who was definitely well out of his time in Ben Roethlisberger. You had Lamar Jackson, who
he's retired already. So let's
Lamar, who couldn't play the whole season, and you think he's overrated, and then Baker freaking Mayfield.
Yeah,
you could look at that division and say, "Yikes."
Right, but if you ask 100 people who has a chance of winning the AFC North, most of them will be saying Cleveland or Baltimore because of Baker and Lamar. They're not going to say Joe Burrow.
Well, then they're not,
especially coming back from an injury like that he had last year.
They're not going to say that now. They're going to definitely say they're going to give the Bengals a shot. But look, again, this is something we know that's not going to be awarded to him. So I don't even know why we're talking about it. It's probably going to go to Dak. But anyway, what did we think? What did everybody, especially in the comments, and obviously Mike and Jawan when Jawan gets back, what did you think of this game? What, Mike? I don't even know anymore.
I don't even know. I'm just talking.
That Joe Burrow, this solidifies that Joe Burrow should get comeback play of the year for a guy that played half a season last year. So Chiefs, like I said, Chiefs were up at one point 21-3. You know, it was 21-10 before the half. I mean, at the half, but 21-3. And then, of course, they got that huge stop literally right before halftime. So they didn't even get a field goal out of that possession. So that definitely, obviously, since they only lost by a field goal, that at one point does come to play. But I mean, and I want to break it down a little bit more than this, but how many people, because I obviously Alan tweeted it, everybody, my brother texted me, if Mahomes wins, they're changing the overtime rules. How many people held their collective breaths at that fucking coin flip? And when Mahomes and the Chiefs won that flip, and you see Mahomes on the sideline, almost like he fucking putting his cape on, cocky, and twice. Once he almost threw an interception on a play that Apple just absolutely fucking dropped. And then, of course, the game-ending interception. So, just what a change in a week's time between what the Buffalo Bills should have done compared to, I'm sorry, Mike, compared to what the Bengals were able to do. You know, and, they intercepted Mahomes. I think it was on like 3rd and 10 or something like that. And
interceptions, they sacked him.
Yeah, they got to him.
I don't know what happened to that offensive line. That offensive line looked like the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, it's about how Mahomes showed his frustration in overtime, thinking he could just throw it deep. And that was just a really good. It was a good throw. Don't get me wrong, into double coverage, but just a really good defensive play. One can argue. I got to watch that replay again because it's hard to tell whether it bounces off the receiver's hands and then goes into Bell's arms, or it was tipped by the other Bengal into Bell's arms. It could have been a bit. It could have been a little bit.
I don't know if it tipped. It was a tip though when it went into when.
Yeah,
Bell
obviously it was tipped to Bell, but I don't know who tipped it. Cincy's D was stout in the last quarter and overtime. No, not even. They were stout in the 3rd and 4th quarter. They held the Chiefs to 3 points all in the second half.
I mean, basically, the Bengals had 24 unanswered points.
Yeah. They were up, they were down 21-3, and they went up 24-21. You're correct. No, 21 unanswered points. 21 unanswered.
I don't know. Nan said 24, so I guess it was.
Yeah, no, it was 21.
Or
it was 21 because I think they were up at one point 14-3. They got the field goal before one of the other touchdowns. They weren't up 21-0, Mike. So yeah, it was 21 points that they went unanswered. But 98 was Mahomes' first half quarterback rating. His second half, -1.4.
I don't know I can't explain what the hell happened to Patrick yesterday, but it goes to show you though where I always say if you're leading if you get a big lead, especially like that 21-10, and you're up by 11 points already, I always say keep the fucking boot on the neck. Don't lift your foot. They lifted their fucking foot and look what happened.
I don't know if that's the case, Mike. I really don't know if if the Chiefs played less with less aggression, especially going into the second half, only up 21-10. I don't know if that was the case. I really think it was more the case of I can't think of the defensive coordinator's name for the Bengals, but I think it was just an adjustment. They went from playing a lot of man to more zone schemes. I think it was more of an adjustment, and it just flustered and confused. And like I said, we said this already, and I don't know why the Bills strayed from it. There is a blueprint to attacking this team, and it worked. It worked. Tyreek Hill's second half yardage 0. Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah,
that was huge.
And that's where I think Harden and him were arguing on the sidelines, because Harden was like pleading to the quarterback coach to throw more to him, because
There was a couple of times
Tyreek
he was open.
getting
Yeah,
double teamed a lot, and he kept throwing to Tyreek.
I knew it was Lou. I couldn't think of the last name, but that's the DC for the Bengals.
What they did to Tyreek Hill was very encouraging heading against Cooper Kupp. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
All right. Burrow became the first quarterback selected overall, number 1 overall, to go to the Super Bowl in just his second season.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we know the Bengals' first Super Bowl appearance since 1988. They lost to the 49ers. But you know what, though? You know what I was thinking about yesterday? I'm going to be 44 years old. And when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl in 88, I was only 10. I didn't watch that Super Bowl. Mike, you're older than me, so you probably did. I didn't get into football until probably about 2 years after that. This is the first time.
It was a fucking blowout.
This is the first time I'm going to watch the Bengals in a Super Bowl. And I've been, like I said, I'm 44. I can say the same thing for the Chiefs. Same thing for the Chiefs. I never watched the Chiefs until obviously the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl. I mean, they've been to the Super Bowl twice. But that was the first time I saw the Chiefs. So I like this. I do. You know, I really think this is going to be, I'm hoping this is going to be a good Super Bowl. You got now the Bengals defense show that they can do what they can do. You got good defense on both sides, and you got a good offense on both sides. So I'm hoping this could go either way. This could be just like one of those boring Super Bowls that we got a few years ago with the Rams and Patriots, which I hope not. Just low scoring. Oh,
that's such good football to watch. That means the defense showed up.
No, I don't like watching. It's not like I don't need well, no, I do. Give me on the edge of your seat, you know, throw for throw, Josh Allen, Mahomes battle. That's what I want a Super Bowl. That's what I want a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Here's why I hate that. What was the first thing everybody was crying about in that game? Soon as it hit overtime.
Not overtime. Take the overtime away.
No. I'm saying, but what was the whole point? Oh, these teams are going at it. They're so good. I want to see both guys have it. In a defensive battle, you can say to yourself, it doesn't matter who gets the coin toss. Both of these defenses have been playing lights out. Now it's about who can overcome.
It's going to be usually those games. It's whoever makes the first mistake.
It's like boxing. It's like boxing. You know, you're not always watching for the knockout. Sometimes
I don't watch boxing.
Sometimes you
get it. I don't watch boxing. That's why I don't watch soccer. I want to sit there for 90 minutes with two going back and forth and nobody scores. You know, I want to see some scoring. And guess what? NFL ratings want to see scoring. So I'm not the only one. Again, I'm not saying that I need a slugfest. I don't want to see like 100 points total scored, but I want to see a game. You know what I mean? That's all. All right. So me and Mike were talking about the game. What did you think of the game, Juwan?
Did you already do the choking, Mike? Because I don't want to.
I've done it 3 times already. You know,
I don't need to rehash.
You did the choking last night.
Good. You got it for me. No, man, look, this wasn't a game where Joe Burrow was phenomenal. This wasn't a game where Patrick Mahomes was phenomenal. This is a game where both defenses kept each other in check. Yeah. And if you're Patrick Mahomes, first of all, you can't make that throw on goal line. You can't make that little shuffle pass to Tyreek Hill.
That's got to be in the end zone.
No one sees that coming.
It's got to be in the end zone. Well, you're hoping at that point Hill does something magical with his speed.
Didn't happen. And then Patrick made a mistake I was expecting to see Joe Burrow make. You can't 1st and 5 run all the way back and then get it. How do you not throw the ball? Once you see no one's open, you throw the ball outside the end zone.
Well, that's the funny thing because he was fucking doing that all throughout the whole game against Buffalo. Every time he was pressured, they couldn't get to him. They couldn't get to him. He either extended the play and actually completed the pass, or he threw it away. I was very surprised at that because that was the thing that I didn't bring it up last week, and he didn't really do it too much this time. I think he maybe did it once, but Burrow had a very bad, very hard time with holding on to the ball not only too long, but he was taking sacks that he should have never have taken. Where a couple of times he took his team, and this is last week, not yesterday. A couple of times he took his team out of field goal range because he backpedaled and took the sack instead of getting rid of it.
Right.
So I'm glad he didn't do that, and I agree. That's something you don't see from Mahomes. You see that from Burrow.
Yeah, and I was shocked because again, that you just have to know that.
Yes. Yeah. Nick's a huge boxing and MMA fan. He would definitely come on with us. I don't know how to evaluate the Burrow interception because it seems Burrow played it like he thought the lineman jumped early. Who knows? I don't know about that. Look, it was a bad pass.
Yeah,
it was.
And just to wrap up my take here. By the way, shout out to Cincinnati for proving what I fought so fucking hard for last week. That was beautiful. That's how you do it, Cincinnati.
I know.
That's how you prove everyone wrong. You go to OT, the hot team has the ball. You just play good fucking defense. Albeit that was the worst throw Patrick Mahomes has ever thrown in his 5 years in the league. Easily. Not even close. His worst throw ever. Why would you throw that deep? Why? There was just absolutely no necessity for it. It wasn't 15 seconds left and you needed a Hail Mary.
Nope.
He wasn't even open. When you see the replay and you see him running the route, there was nothing about his route that I'm like, oh, that's wide open. And I can't even say like, oh, you threw it to Devontae Adams, like someone that you could throw it that high and they'll just jump up and grab it. But again, great defense by the Bengals, great interception. And then look, I think when that interception was thrown, it took all the air out of the Chiefs defense, man. Chris Jones trying to sack Joe Burrow, where Joe Burrow just jumps out of it. Twice, man.
Twice he eluded Chris Jones.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, that boy's got some ice in his veins. I'm not ready to say what everyone else is saying about Joe Burrow, but I tell you this, if he wins this Super Bowl, he is well on his way.
I agree.
Becoming the next face of the NFL.
I'm agreeing with you.
Move right aside, Patrick, because when you look at this team, here's what makes the Bengals so special. If they win the Super Bowl, even if they don't, but let's say they win the Super Bowl, do you know how many older superstars will flock to wanting to go there because they're ready? They're ready. Like, it's not like, oh, I got to go here and in a few years they'll be in the Super Bowl. They just were in one. So you can go out and get veteran receivers for cheap, linemen, corners. If you're the Bengals, this is the best situation to be in.
But, Jawan, even if, let's just say they even lose the Super Bowl this year,
yep,
you're going to want, somebody's going to say, wow, they're a Super Bowl contender. They were just in the Super Bowl. I could help them win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And they would want to come there. Not even just the fact of winning one.
Yeah.
But even just to come in to help be that one piece that makes them win it.
Yeah.
And they'll still come over.
It's possible, but I mean, how many people probably said that about the Chiefs? You know, oh, look, you know, they already won they went to the Super Bowl, they won. Let's go here. Let's go here. It's not always the case. Going back-to-back Super Bowls is tough. We know that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you said that in Kansas City, they have been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Right. No, and they only won in 4 years. So that's what
but going there is
and you have, but here's the thing with that though. You have a guy like Mahomes, right? Probably, I mean, let's face it, he's at this point in their careers, he's the best quarterback in the league, Mahomes. So you got Mahomes as your start.
Just from the young group, or you mean period, out of all the quarterbacks?
I think out of all the quarterbacks.
Out of all the quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback right now.
Yes. Yeah. Based on his skill, there's nobody.
Season, yes. I mean, Joe Burrow only has a year and a half experience. Granted, he's going to the Super Bowl.
I don't know if I'm taking him over Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why. Because Aaron, again, team effort, but Aaron, first of all, Aaron chokes in the playoffs.
Well,
Aaron.
Are we talking who has more success? I won't argue that.
No, I'm talking about
We're talking
skill. I'm
talent.
talking about skill.
Yeah,
I'm talking about talent.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
All right. So I feel like with a guy like Mahomes at your center, you got weapons as first of all, the fastest guy on probably either on the planet or in the NFL alone in Tyreek Hill. You got probably arguably one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in football in Travis Kelce. And you got other weapons. So, and even my brother said it, a lot of people thought the same thing about Cleveland, and they went over there. What happened there? It's not always about getting veteran, whatever. Look, they already have a winning product on the field, So I don't know. It can go either way. It's not always as simple as, all right, well, they already went to a Super Bowl. Let's add a couple of pieces. There are some Here's the other example. Look at the Rams. Went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They lost. They said, you know what? We're going to go all in. We weren't happy with our starter in Goff. We weren't happy with some other pieces. They obviously picked up Beckham. I don't know if they pick up Beckham still. If what do you call it? If Woods was still healthy. So, but they pick up Beckham. Beckham had a huge game, and we'll get to that in yesterday's game. But
if he would have scored a fucking touchdown, I would have made some money though yesterday.
But I'm saying the Rams did that too, so it could go either way. You're right.
It happens more times than not. I remember New England going out and getting damn, I completely forgot his name. He's in jail now for fucking murder. But getting the D-back from Seattle and then getting Revis. That was it. Brandon. That was all they did. Super Bowl. So to me, like I'm saying, the Bengals are there. They have everything they need. It's just about if they win it or lose it, just securing it. So that if anything, if you're the Bengals, you're like, we now don't have to worry about this whole thing of we got a young quarterback who's never done it before. He's done it.
Yeah.
He's got
I agree.
He's got it. So that's what I'm saying. If you're the Bengals, you're in a better position today than you were a few weeks ago where people were like playing in Cincinnati. I don't fucking want to live there. But now it's like, shit, I am 33. And they did just go to a Super Bowl. Yeah, all right, I might do it. You know what I'm saying? So
I get it.
Let me ask you this.
For the Bengals.
Let me ask you this, though. Regarding Eric Bieniemy, does this kind of hurt his chances to become a head coach now because of the way you look at the Super Bowl last year and what happened yesterday, that people are starting to figure out his offense?
No, I don't think they're starting to figure out his offense. I think Patrick Mahomes made a lot of really bad mistakes he shouldn't have. Because again, look, we're one stupid throw away from Patrick Mahomes maybe having a different drive down that field. Maybe they score, maybe they win. Two.
Remember, Apple probably should have had that interception even before then.
Apple should have had that interception before then.
Yeah, that's why the Giants got rid of him, because he doesn't know how to catch a ball.
I think to say that an offense is figured out, I think the only way I could ever agree to that is if the quarterback and the receivers are playing a great game. It's just your schemes aren't working, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you have Deebo Samuel and you're lining up and you go to do like a trick play and they just snuff it out. That means your playbook is too predictable. You know what I'm saying? To me, Patrick Mahomes was too culpable for me to believe that it wasn't
Mike, that doesn't make any sense. He would be a good pick in Minnesota for the Chiefs OC. What?
Hmm? Oh, I guess he's saying the Chiefs offensive coordinator would be a good head coach for
Yeah, Minnesota. It's what I figured, Mike. You talking about Bieniemy going into Minnesota to be a head coach, but that's not how you worded it, Mike. Choose your words wisely. The other big thing that I don't think either of you touched on was that 1st and goal before regulation ended and how the Bengals stepped up. They sacked Mahomes twice, including a strip sack.
Yeah,
and that is that's what led to that 44-yard Bucker kick to tie the game to go.
Honestly, the end of the first half, when they had that 5 seconds, they should have just went for the field goal. They should never.
You're still talking about that. You're still talking about the first half and timeouts or whatever.
No. What I'm saying though is they should have went for the field goal in that first half. Though
they should have. Yeah, we know.
Instead of going for that last play.
Yes, they should have. But they didn't, and we wouldn't be able to talk about this if they did. Right? All right. Stafford and the Rams, they're heading to the Super Bowl, and look, it wasn't a pretty win. It was, well, hold on really quick. What about the end of the first half? We were just, Mike, we said that already. Stupid. It was. And that's
Mike,
exactly what Mike.
said that. I just
that's
said
what Mike
that.
is saying. Yeah, that's what Mike is saying. Look, both defenses stepped up in this game when they needed to. Donald was pretty much non-existent. They were able to neutralize Donald very well.
But they didn't neutralize Von Miller, though, because he got in on some good plays over there.
He did, but for the most part, the offensive line protected Garoppolo. They did until the very last play, which I'm going to say, because obviously, again, going to break it down a little bit more. I feel bad for Jimmy Garoppolo to go out like that. I really do. My heart does. I'm not just saying this. I wanted the Rams to win, but like a lot of people say, you don't make that throw. Yes, you don't make that throw. He was pressured. He didn't want to take the sack. He tried to get rid of the ball. Almost could have been caught. It was a bad throw. It was a very high throw off the fingertips of the Niners. Who was that? Mitchell? Was that Mitchell that was thrown to? Was that his back or was that a receiver?
It was his back. It was his back.
It was Mitchell.
All right, so I don't know if that was Elijah Mitchell. I don't know who it was, but either way, it was a bad course of actions. The trying to throw it away too high, obviously, and then it goes into the hands of the Rams. So
that play gave me PTSD. It reminded me of Wes Welker.
Yes, well, no, let me tell you something. No, Wes Welker. I rewatched that drive. I rewatched the last few minutes of the Super Bowl the other day. Both Super Bowls the Giants won, 42 and 46. That Welker drop, holy shit! Not only that Harrison interception that could have been. There was a couple of things that went wrong in both Super Bowls, but
everyone always says Brady threw it a little high, and I'm like, I think people forget a little high shouldn't mean it hits me in my fucking mitts.
Yeah,
it was in Welker's mitts.
A little high would have been fingertips. That was fingertips. It hit his palms. It hit his palms. Yeah,
and that's why I always tell people, as great as Wes Welker is, don't ever compare Wes Welker to Julian Edelman. When a big catch was needed, Julian Edelman made all of those.
Yeah,
all of them.
And how about those? Look, both, and again, yes, Stafford was gifted by the gods that Tartt dropped that interception. I mean, that was you can't get any better than that. Then Garoppolo gets gifted also as well. Ramsey had a shot at an interception too. I don't know if it was the very next drive. The very next possession by the 49ers.
Ramsey's lucky he was still playing in that game. He almost got his head taken off by a face mask.
Let me ask you that. Yeah, so that obviously was a no call. He was brought to the ground and physically hurt by a face mask that was no call. But let me ask you this, as far as no calls go. I don't know if it's a legal play or not. I don't think so. But let me get your input on this. After that interception by Bell in overtime, when he goes and tries to run into the middle of the field and maybe get a little bit more yards to get the Bengals into a better field position, he got fucking clotheslined. He was brought down by his neck. Was that a penalty that should have been called?
It should have been called, yes.
Yeah, possibly.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You know the play I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I was like, holy
hit him
shit.
with a fucking Bret heart attack.
I was going to say, I thought we were watching fucking WWE. I was like, what is this shit? I was like, holy shit. But either way.
It was like watching JBL hit the fucking clothesline from hell over there, the way he hit it.
Very early in the game, obviously it's 0-0. Both offenses were struggling. Both defenses, as I said, were doing their job. Although the 49ers were moving the ball a lot better than the Rams were at that point. But how horrible, right before the half, on a drive where the Rams are driving, you throw the ball to one of your most reliable receivers, one of the most reliable receivers in the fucking league, in Cooper Kupp. He catches that ball. He probably has daylight and scores. He drops it. Then on two plays later, a pass, I can't pronounce his Skowronek. Oh yeah, it's got to be how you spell it. I mean, let's say it. A wide open Skowronek in the fucking end zone off of his hands would have been a clear touchdown. He drops it.
What was worse about that play, that drive, not that drive, but that specific play you're talking about, that last one, is that Cooper Kupp was wide open.
Yes, you're right. No, Cooper Kupp was either way. It was choose your meal.
Wide open.
Choose your option. You had Kupp open, but it was a beautiful pass.
The headbutt to Stafford over there with the helmet after the play.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what these refs were watching yesterday on that field.
That was
the guy
bad.
Literally fucking headbutted Stafford in the back of the head.
in the back of the head. It was a cheap shot from the back, right? And it was like, Mike, it wasn't even a fucking joke how far along after the play was thrown. The ball was thrown that he got hit.
The play was over when it happened.
I couldn't believe that. But the other thing, the reason why those two drop passes were big was because that was on the drive that they missed a field goal. They ended up missing a field goal there, so they got no points out of that fucking drive. So
as much as I was happy for Joe Burrow getting, like I said, look, I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan. I love Patrick Mahomes, but I really felt good for Joe Burrow yesterday. But I was just as excited for Matthew Stafford yesterday.
I agree.
To finally be on a team where your talent gets you where you need. His wife was literally fucking crying in the stands. Like,
yeah, it's emotional. It's an emotional time, but I will say this:
13 years on a fucking organization that didn't give two shits where they go, and you're just sitting there. I mean, great, okay, and we'll say, all right, he had Megatron for those few years, but if you look at those 13 years, 0 wins, 1 win, 2 wins. Now he's on a team where, oh shit, I'm in the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I will say this, I'm going to be going for the Rams. I mean, a spoiler alert when we do our picks, but I'll be happy either way. I will. If Burrow wins, if the Bengals win, I'll be happy for them. I'm not rooting against the Bengals and Burrow. I'm just rooting for Stafford and the Rams. And
I'm as much as a Mahomes fan as you are a Josh Allen fan, Mike.
Here is why. For some of the reasons you said, Mike, about being on a franchise that just doesn't have the winning culture and just didn't want to do anything to help that team progress. But also because Stafford's been in the league, like you said, for so long. He's 33, 34. His time is numbered as well in this league. Burrow's got a bright future ahead of him. So I'd rather Stafford get the win. Like I said, I'm going to be pulling for him, but yeah, just look, it was a great game. But here's the other thing though, that I am a little worried about, especially going into the Super Bowl. If you're the Rams, if you're McVay, you got to fucking make better challenges. Like, who the fuck was in his ear for that second challenge when he was challenging a fumble that clearly the guy didn't drop the ball until like 15 seconds after he was down. That's how long he had the ball. He had control. I don't know why you make that challenge. I think that was a stupid challenge. You had one timeout in a close game in the second. It was obviously in the second half, so you only had the one timeout left for the game, and you wasted on a fucking stupid challenge. So again, I don't know if that was McVay's call or if that was somebody in the booth fucking chirping in his ear, but I don't know what the fuck they were watching because that wasn't even close to being a fumble. You guys agree?
Yeah.
All right. What would you guys think of this game? Juwan, I'll start with you because I know you're obviously going. Well, you were pulling for the 49ers? You were pulling for the 49ers, and I know you're not as big of a Stafford fan as me and Mike are. So what did you think of this game?
I thought, and shout out to listener Jim because he texted me. Sorry, listener Jim, I didn't get back to you, man. It was hectic yesterday.
He was messaging me yesterday as well.
He was just like, is it just me? It seemed like Stafford's giving this game up. And I was just like, nah, he's just as Mike always says, like Stephen A says, before you know it, Dallas will Dallas. Stafford was trying his hardest to Stafford the fuck out of that game. But I will say that was one of the greatest throws I've ever seen. That corner shot.
The cup?
Corner ball shot.
Yeah. Beautiful shot.
Yep. One of the greatest.
Was that the second touchdown, right? The cup got you're talking about?
No, that was the
one or the first
that was
one?
I believe that was the first one.
That was the first one. Because that wasn't even one of those throws. You know, a throw where you look at it and you're like, oh, that was a better catch than like Santonio Holmes winning the Super Bowl.
That was a better catch than a better throw. Yeah.
Than a throw. This was a better throw than that catch was just like, bro, you could make that catch.
You didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was be there.
Pocket. It was just right in the pocket. Beautiful catch. Yes, I will say number 3. Listen, it apparently is just a 49ers thing. And I only say that because 49ers fucking up the punt against the Giants in the playoffs. Jimmy G overthrowing in the Super Bowl. And now an interception that wasn't even like you had to work for it. It was just like, hey, catch me. And you're like, nope, I don't even want to.
And he also overthrew Kittle.
There.
He overthrew Kittle.
Yes. So what bothers me the most about that interception, and the only reason why I put so much weight on that kid, I'm not saying the loss of the game was because of him, but the only reason I put weight on him was it was 17-14.
Yeah.
It was 17-14 at the time. So if Jimmy G can go down and at least get a field goal,
Yep,
we're talking a whole different game now. We're talking the Rams can't settle for that field goal. They gotta go for that touchdown, right?
that's right. Yeah.
So I'm like, that could have been an altering drop that you had right there. And if you're Stafford, like I was watching Skip and Shannon, and they were looking at it, and they were just like, who the fuck was he throwing to? He's like, well, I guess Odell. He's like, Odell was nowhere near that football. Who was he?
Yeah, I don't know. There were a couple of very questionable, and especially in the like I said, in the very beginning of the game, he was definitely off. The drop to Odell, but it was behind him.
Right.
It was a pass behind Cup that I think was the interception, right? Wasn't it batted because it was behind him, and then it got batted up? Yeah. So he was clearly not on target, but then he started to settle in a little bit more, I think. And like you said, the beautiful pass to Cup at the corner of the end zone where you literally just had to be there. He didn't make the mistakes that we were like holding our breath every time he threw the ball. But I think it was more about Garoppolo, and what Garoppolo was going to be able to do. And as my brother said, I know he said Jimmy G sucks. I don't think he sucks, but going 16 for 30, I mean, that's almost a 50% completion ratio. Yeah,
I mean, look, unfortunately, just like when the Wildcat first came out, unfortunately, the biggest problem they ran into was the Rams were only going to allow Deebo Samuel to get off for only but so long before they just figured out a way to stop it. And once they did, it was essentially just saying, all right, well, we took that away. Your quarterback has to now make the throws to beat us. There is no more.
Which he can't. He can't. Doesn't have the arm.
The arm to throw deep. Sure, I won't argue that.
Yeah.
Jimmy G does have the capabilities to win, and that's why I wanted him to be able to win this game. Is because there's just so much conversation about how Jimmy G isn't a competent quarterback. He's no good. He has no arm. There's no talent there. He can't get you to the big game. And I think that's just not true. Deebo Samuel tweeted out his stats, and I swear to God, I think I saved it. He tweeted out his stats, and it's like, well, Jimmy G's numbers speak differently. But I get it if someone's trying to say he's not clutch.
But you know what's funny though? Because speaking of Deebo's stats, I was looking at I was looking at the box score, the stat line. And going by what they were able to do and how they were moving the ball, when they were moving the ball with Samuel, I was very shocked that he had under 100 yards. I think he had like 76 or something like that. His stats aren't in front of me for some reason. Only what do you call it? The Rams offense was. But what do you have? So receiving, 72. And he had 26 on the ground. So he had almost a combined 100. But and his longest receiving was 44 yards. Right. But I was very shocked. There was nobody at 100. There was nobody. And then you go to the Rams. You got Kupp over almost at 150. You got Beckham at over 100 yards as well. So I get it. And
the only thing I wished is that Stafford would have hit Odell in the fucking end zone.
I know. Well, you would have won money on that, but I really want
dude. I sent you the picks.
I know.
I had everything right except for that one fucking thing.
I know. What are you gonna look?
I think it's interesting what Brandon's saying. I don't think his legacy largely depends on it. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's just like Stafford, for his stats alone, will go to the Hall of Fame, right? There's no question about that. He will go to the Hall of Fame. He has the numbers, right? He has the numbers. He has the All-Pros, I believe. He has the Pro Bowls. I think he will make his way to Canton.
I think winning the Super Bowl would solidify it, though.
Winning the Super Bowl, I do highly believe would be the cherry on top. There would be like literally nothing else anyone could say. But to me, I kind of like the idea of, because we've had this so much with Brady and Peyton, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just want the new guard. I want the new guard. I want to see Joe Burrow hoisting that, because that means so much for your Herberts. That means so much for your, you know what I'm saying? Your Mac Joneses and guys like that, all that youth that we now have at the quarterback position. Because to me, if Brady retires, Rodgers only has another year or two. If Matt only has another year or two, I just want to get all the old guard out. You know what I'm saying? Get all the old guard out. I want to start seeing championships hoisted by these young kids, man. They're great. They're really, really, really great. So
Wait, is this whole Brady retirement a fake, or is it?
No, it's just that he wants to do it on his own terms, and it got leaked out, and he's probably pissed about it. I mean, I don't know if it's not definitive yet, but I'm pretty sure it's most likely going to happen. He just wanted to do it on his own terms. But I really do want to go to Brandon's point, because it's a very good point. You know, we've been talking about Stafford since forever, because with the Lions and what he was able to do and what he was not able to do, what they weren't able to do as a team. And that was get to the playoffs. That was get that win, but not even the win, the playoffs, go to the playoffs. He was brought to this organization for the chance and to win a Super Bowl. That's got to be weighted heavily on his shoulders.
And we said it with Stafford, Joey, we both agreed to this. It was Super Bowl or bust for Stafford this year.
And that's got to be, and the other thing is too, Jawan, you're not heavy on Stafford, right? And everybody's waiting, like you said, Stafford to be Stafford. And that's something that's got to be in a quarterback's head. When people are waiting for him, when you're watching Mahomes, you're waiting for him to succeed. Everybody else is waiting for Stafford to fail. And it's got to be a high pressure situation for him, especially coming to a team where they're like, you're our guy. It's we win or nothing. So, and the fact that, look, he made it to the big show. He's in the big show. Congratulations to him. But it really is a shame what the league and what fans have done, putting his name in the dirt where the guy can't, to quote the late great Rodney Dangerfield, he gets no respect. And I really hope that is why I want him to win. I agree. I want to see the new guard. I do. I want to see some new blood. And that's why I'm glad the Bengals are in the big game. I want to see new teams make it. I don't want to see it always either Mahomes and Brady or Brady and Aaron, if Breeze was still in the league, Breeze, I want to see it. I want to see new teams play. This is the first year in, I can't remember how long, that you don't either have a Mahomes or a Brady in a Super Bowl. So I'll take it. But I am, like I said, pulling for whatever. Yeah, Russell Wilson is going to be one of the old quarterbacks in town soon. Man, things fly by. But him, so you got him, Aaron. Well, Matt Ryan and Aaron are in a different class. I think what's Wilson? Wilson's early, mid-30s?
No, Wilson's like 32.
32, 33.
All right, that's early 30s.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Joe, let me ask you this one thing though, and Jawan. What happens to Jimmy G now? Does Jimmy G come back, or they're just gonna go? We're going with Trey Lance.
I tell you this: Jimmy G will have a job because Raiders have to make a decision on Carr.
Yeah,
Josh McDaniels doesn't want Carr. Josh McDaniels will 1,000% go get a guy that he's already had a rapport with. 1,000%, I guarantee you. He'll ride with Jimmy G and then just draft somebody. And Jimmy G can make the Raiders a winning team, Super Bowl team. Who knows? But can Jimmy G win games? For sure, especially under Josh McDaniels. Yeah.
But yeah. So you're saying Jimmy G is not going to be with the 49ers next year, Jawan?
I think if you're the 49ers, you have a really tough decision to make. And like I said, there'll be a few quarterbacks available. A few. Aaron maybe having a homecoming. The whole Deshaun Watson debacle.
But then you also remember though, now you traded up for this kid. You're going to keep him on the bench?
I tell you this. If Jimmy Garoppolo can't get you to a Super Bowl, I don't believe Trey Lance's mechanics are any better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And again, yes, you did do that, and I would have liked if they just utilized Trey Lance as like a Swiss Army knife a little bit more for a couple of read options to kind of make it difficult to just go, well, Deebo Samuel is in the halfback position, so clearly they're running it with him, right? You could do more wildcat kind of stuff with Trey Lance than you can with Jimmy G, more RPO, stuff like that. I think that could have been a little bit more useful in this game, but to answer your question rather, Jimmy G will be a starting quarterback next year.
Just like we don't know if San Fran or not.
The reason why I wouldn't be shocked if Garoppolo stays one more year, and there's the only reason why. They got to the NFC Championship game, right? They could have probably won that game, and again, and Joanne, I know your response to this. That's why I really don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He does have two different injuries to the same throwing arm, and I get it. If you're hurt, don't play. But who knows what he could have been able to do had he didn't have that, the issue with his thumb and his shoulder, throwing shoulder, The reason why I think he might stay, only because right now they're built to win. And I don't know if a rookie quarterback who doesn't have, obviously yet, because he didn't have any chance to get experience, who doesn't have the experience can take you. Now, I know Burrow was able to do what he was able to do in his second season, right? But in the short little glimpse that we've had of Trey Lance, and it's a very small sample size, so nothing against Trey, but he hasn't done anything much. So I don't know. And that's the only reason why. Earlier, a few weeks ago, if you would have asked me, we all said the same thing. Oh, Garoppolo's done in San Fran. But he kept hanging on. And I know a lot of the reasons why they advanced to where they did was their defense and special teams. Let's be honest. It was nothing on paper that showed us that was Garoppolo that was able to, that pushed them to the edge or took them to where they did. It was defense. Even in yesterday's game, it was defense that kept them around. I
just think you're mistaken if you're the 49ers to hold on to him with us knowing that at least for better than Jimmy G quarterbacks are possibly just free for you to go grab, right? For you to
gotcha. I understand what you're saying.
For you to go after, just don't set it in stone, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they're gonna say it in public, like, yeah, that's our guy. But there's a chance. If there's a chance you can go get Aaron Rodgers, you 1,000% don't.
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, and you're right in that aspect. Yes, I wasn't looking at more of keep Jimmy G because it's Jimmy G. I was just thinking like you have the capability of winning now. So to stay with the veteran quarterback, it's really, he's been in the league enough to say veteran. But yeah, if you can get somebody like an Aaron Rodgers,
I even think if you can get Derek Carr, who I think is better than Jimmy G.
I got you 100%. You put Derek Carr on this 49ers team, they're probably in the Super Bowl. Right. Not even probably, they are. I think. Mm-hmm. I know Mike's like whatever, but look, Guy Liner can do it.
What?
The media is going to hype the home field advantage. What? There's no home field advantage in LA. In Super Bowls. But in reality, everyday fans aren't the ones spending $7,000 on Super Bowl tickets. It's true. Yeah, it's not going to be.
Say Guy Liner could lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl?
Hell yeah.
What the fuck are you smoking?
I'm sorry, Mike. Did we not just see Jimmy Garoppolo go a game away from the Super Bowl? You think Jimmy G's better than Derek Carr?
Do you think Jimmy G's better than Derek Carr?
Should I say it?
What are you thinking about? I don't.
What the heck?
So confused. What?
Dude, you give Derek Carr, Deebo Samuel, and all these Ayuk and all these other fucking weapons and a defense like that?
Oh, I'm glad you said that name really quickly, Joe. That play pissed me off. That deep shot to Ayuk. Where he
Ayuk
couldn't control himself and he went out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds. Yeah, I know, but it was just the way he caught it. I know that was a touchdown.
That was a touchdown. That was a walk-in touchdown, bro.
But I do agree with Brandon. He's 100% right. It's not everyday guys like you and I that are going to this fucking game. It's people spending $7,000 on a Super Bowl ticket.
I think also, Brandon, what goes to that is Cincinnati hasn't been since 1988. If you think that the entire state isn't coming out to that arena to support their Bengals, you're out of your damn mind.
If they can afford it, though, they might have to mortgage. They might have to put a.
I know one guy from Cincinnati who will be at that game.
Joe Burrow.
John Moxley.
Oh yeah, John Moxley for damn sure.
Mitchell Trubisky
to Renee some tickets.
Mitchell Trubisky to San Fran. LOL. Yeah, I don't know about. All right, let's go to our.
Wait, Mitchell Trubisky is related to Buffalo, which would be Buffalo Bills Light. Mitchell Trubisky will be the backup to Daniel Jones. Does anybody want to even mention the fact that this is the second year in a row that
I'm sure that was going to come up, Mike.
The whole stadium is having their team in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to bring it up, but yeah, let's mention it. I mean, it's crazy. It's never been done before. Now it's been done twice in a row, back-to-back years.
Yep,
back-to-back years. Let's see if the Rams could do what the Bucs did last year and actually win. All right.
Where's next year's Super Bowl be played?
Arizona, I believe.
Oh, fucking Cardinals ain't winning that shit.
I'm pretty sure. Guys, correct me in the comments if you know definitively, but I'm almost positive because I think in 2 years' time it's in Vegas. If I'm not mistaken, in the 2024, maybe 2025, it's in Vegas. But I'm pretty sure next year is what is it? State Farm Arena?
Let me see. Yes, State Farm Arena. So we definitely know two different teams in the Arizona Cardinals will be playing in the Super Bowl next year.
Arizona. Yeah, listen to Jim said Arizona. Okay, let's go to our predictions. I'll start with you, Mike. Who you got?
I'm torn.
I know. Again, honestly, guys.
I'm torn. I mean, I'm so torn on this.
I'll say it one last time. If either team wins, I'll be happy. And I never usually say that. Honestly, I never usually say that about a Super Bowl. I usually want one definitive team to win.
I want Stafford to win. I want Burrow to win. Look, even as much as I hated Odell, I think that would be great for Odell to, rub it in the Giants' faces and Cleveland to say that as well.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I'm not a bitter fan. I want Odell.
I mean, the winner of this team is going to be the first team that makes the big mistake, which means who's going to throw the interception?
Wait, the winner is going to be the team that makes the mistake?
No, the winner is the team that's going to value from the mistake of the. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know where I'm going. Thank you.
Yeah, whoever capitalizes on the other's mistake.
Yeah, so I mean, if Stafford throws the major interception, the Bengals will probably be the one to benefit and win it, and vice versa, because Burrow's known for throwing some funky passes too that can go, to the defense. But
you know what, though, too? Let's credit Stafford's mobility in yesterday's game. Huh? 14
yards he ran on that first
14 yards. Run. He escaped a sack, and he ran. He extended some plays. Stafford really wanted that win, and you could tell that. Donald, and credit Aaron Donald too. My brother even said it. That second half, not only did he try to fire up his defense, but he took over in that fourth quarter, Aaron Donald. And even though he didn't get a sack, he still was there to pressure. And so credit that defense.
Look, I want to go with Matthew Stafford on this, but you know what? The way that Bengals defense showed up in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Cincinnati. I'm gonna go Cincinnati on this.
All right.
I think Joe Burrow is gonna win the fucking Super Bowl with only a year and a half experience.
Yeah, and I also agree. So really quick, let me get to two comments. So Nick said a lot of people here say before 2025 it'll be held in Green Bay, but I highly doubt it. This isn't really a destination spot. It's not, only because of cold weather. Now, we obviously got a cold weather Super Bowl, even though ironically it was in the 50s that day, at the MetLife Stadium a few years ago. Right?
Yeah, you got lucky that day.
We did get lucky, but for the most part, it's either in dome or warm weather climate. So I don't know, but
Super Bowls are either played in either California, Arizona, Florida,
dome. Yeah, anything that has a dome,
where it's like in the 60s and the 70s all the time. But as we were joking the other day, Joey, you said you got like 9,000 inches of snow, and I'm telling you it's 72 degrees out. You wanted to smack me in the face.
Listen to Jim. I love the whole swagger of Joe B. I'm pulling for Cincy, and that's why I said listen to Jim. If the Rams lose and Cincy ends up winning the game, I'll be happy for Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I really will.
They keep comparing. 88.
And this kid right here. You know why I love this kid? Because, and I don't know if you caught this, Mike, on the Pat McAfee show, he came on, he was interviewed, and he was looking at the ball that's on McAfee's desk. and it was Adam Vinatieri Bowl with all Vinatieri's records.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the records was most field goals in a season or something like that. And he says, I'm eyeing that. And McAfee's like, all right, calm down, kid. You're just a kid. Vinatieri's a seasoned veteran. He's the whatever. But he's eyeing it. And I think he's pretty close to it, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what the record is, but he's pretty close to it.
In the playoffs alone, I think he's perfect now. I think he's like 11 of 11 or something like that. Because he was 9-9 going into the game.
Yeah, the Indy Super Bowl was off the charts. I had a blast the whole week. And there's not enough hotels in Green Bay to support it either. Talking about preseason games, every room in every hotel sold out. Right. Yeah. All right, Jawan, I know you're going Joe Burr.
Yeah.
Joe Cool, Joe Burr.
I find it funny that we keep talking about the 88 Super Bowl with Montana, and Montana's the original Joe Cool, and here's the new Joe Cool.
New Joe
I don't know
Cool,
who
yeah.
that is. I only know Joe Burrow is Joe Cool.
You know the greatest quarterback of all time.
Tom Brady?
12
No,
for
I'm talking about
12.
the guy that won 4 Super Bowls and didn't have to change rules to win, but
12 for 12 and
What
4
rules-
for 4.
What
50.
rules were changed, and how did that win him any Super Bowl?
you know how the tuck rule and put a pinky on me, you throw a flag rule, where Mac
Right,
Truck
first
would
of
run
all-
over Joe Montana and nobody cared.
You just
And
said
then Joe's Lawrence Taylor comment.
you just said a huge inconsistency. The tuck rule was like in 03, 04. The rule you're talking about you can't touch a quarterback, that came the year Brady tore his ACL. That was in like 2011. So you're talking about a large gap.
And meanwhile, Joe Montana got his leg broken by Lawrence Taylor. I mean, And Kurt Angle won 2 gold medals with a broken freaking neck. Did you know that one too?
Yeah. Tom Brady also has never had a Jerry Rice. So, I mean, that could account for something too. Anyway.
I mean, he did, albeit I think at that point he was towards the end of his career, but he did have a Randy Moss.
Yeah,
Randy Moss, one of my favorite receivers of all time.
For sure. And he went right to a Super Bowl, threw a game-winning touchdown to Randy Moss, and then his defense gave up a touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
So Brady did his job. So, you know what I'm saying? He can't play defense. What was I going to say? Cincinnati and Jamar Chase will be your Super Bowl MVP. That's all I got.
You think Jamar Chase?
And not Joe Burrow?
Yep.
Mike dropped the hammer. Montana was the GOAT before. Yeah, and I agree. Montana was the GOAT.
Before Tom Brady started living and breathing. Yes, I agree.
Was the GOAT. That's the key word is was.
Was.
Actually, excuse me. Tom Brady was alive when Joe Montana was winning Super Bowls, and he idolized Joe Montana.
Yeah, and then he said, you know what? I idolize you so much, I'll be way better than you.
Yep.
I'll be 7 Super Bowls way better than you.
7.
Just saying.
Also, what? 3? 3 of them in his 40s?
Yes. 3 of them when everyone was just like, he's gonna retire soon.
Yeah, his guy. What? Fucking what's his face? Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done.
God, I hate that son of a
He's
bitch.
done. He's done.
The cliff.
You ready for
Don't
this,
forget the Brady cliff.
The Brady cliff. Right.
Don't forget this most important stat of Tom Brady's. 505 yards in a fucking Super Bowl.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
I know.
Just saying. Mike, he's old.
That's right. Moss's kid is in Cincy.
Yes, he is. Yep.
Yeah, I do. I remember that. I remember when he was on one of the NFL shows. He was saying,
Moss is going to show Jamar Chase how to
kid's
get
on
a
his defense, though, isn't he?
I think he might be a DB. I think.
And TB was and is the GOAT now, and I also agree with that. So all right, look, these are our picks, guys. What are your picks in the comments? Let us know your picks. Who you got? You got the Rams or you got the Bengals? I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Bengals. I think we're going to get a lot of Bengals in the comments.
3 Bengal fans in the chat right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Brandon's obviously going Bengals.
And Star Wars guy is going Bengals.
Right.
What's going to be very interesting for this Super Bowl is this is one of the rare Super Bowls in like the last 10, 15 years where there is not a team that's vilified. Everyone loves Matthew Stafford. Everyone loves
I agree. Yeah, you don't have a hated quarterback in
You don't have a
Brady.
hated you don't even have a hated franchise to say, "Oh, I hate this franchise." I hope
Yeah,
they lose.
the Patriots became the Yankees of football. I like Stephen A. Smith. I like for football, but when it comes to boxing and MMA, the guy shouldn't even open his mouth. Knows absolutely nothing. I also like Stephen A. Smith. I do.
Wait, is he defending Max? Is he saying Max? Because Max is boxing. He's boxing personified.
Well, he's saying Kellerman, I don't mind, and that's probably why, because he is known for his boxing. I mean, I think the first time I ever knew who Max Kellerman was, he was in Rocky Balboa, the movie.
Yeah. Only reason I could never stand Max Kellerman is his takes remind me of Nick from First Things First.
Nick?
No, not this Nick. From Nick Wright from First Things First. They just say things that are just so asinine that you're just like, what are you talking about?
You
Like,
mean? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I could call out Max Kellerman for a whole bunch of things, but I'm not going to get political on here. But
we're going.
Hey Joey, ask me how I'm doing today.
Hold on, really quick. Who day, all day, especially on Super Bowl Sunday. I got you, Brandon.
I like that.
How you doing? How you doing?
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Exactly, Jawan. I like both and hate rooting for just one. It's true. Yeah, that is true. And that's why
I find the Super Bowl to be boring when it's like that. I like when it's a good guy versus a bad guy. And then everyone's rooting for the good guy. And then I come in and I'm like, I like the bad guy.
You know how many times I've gone. So look, obviously I have no allegiance to either team. Mm-hmm. So you know how many times I've watched a game and I was going for one team almost the whole time. And when the other team was down, but they started to climb back, I would do like a flip. I'm like, you know what? I want the underdog to win now. I want the team. Well, not maybe they might not have been the underdog at the point, but I want the team that's actually coming down and clawing from behind to win. So it could go that way. It could, but again, I would prefer Stafford.
Joey, it's like my theory. I always rooted for Piper to beat the shit out of Hogan.
Right. Okay. I don't know if that's a theory. I'm pretty sure that's not a theory, Mike.
That's just
I think that's a just how you felt. But yeah, so these are our prediction, guys. What I want to do though next week, because I thought about it, I was like, wait a second.
There's no football next week unless you want to talk about the Pro Bowl.
Well, no, that's my point. We were gonna go 2 weeks from today. We were gonna do our the broadcast talking about who won the Super Bowl, right? But then I thought maybe we could do a Super Bowl preview show. You know, we could just talk about, well, when are they announcing the
I
awards?
totally agree, Jim, on that comment.
I think the night before the Super Bowl.
No,
it is the night before the Super Bowl.
No, it's the Thursday night before the Super Bowl on it'll be on ABC.
So if you want, what we could do, maybe not a Monday morning quarterback on Monday. You want to do a Super Bowl preview on Friday and talk about the awards?
I can do that.
What's that? The 11th, February 11th. It's February 11th. It's the 11th.
That's be 12th, right?
No, Friday, because Saturday is the 12th and the Super Bowl's on the 13th.
Yeah, the 11th.
So we could do that because again, like, what are you going to do? A Super Bowl preview? We just did our picks. This is the Super Bowl preview, right. But I just didn't want to do like no show at all on Monday. But I'm all right with doing it on a Friday. It just wouldn't be Monday morning quarterback. We'll just call it something else. We could just talk about our Super Bowl preview. I'll change the time and date, and we can do that if you want. It's up to you.
Brandon's comment. Yeah. Look at that.
Joe Burrow was snubbed for the Pro Bowl, by the way. So he said, "Fuck it." No, he did. He was. He clearly snubbed. Nobody on the since he was picked. No.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow. That's why I love the guy so much. Joe Burrow said Pro Bowl.
I'm going to Super Bowl.
Pro Bowl, motherfucker. I'm going to Super Bowl.
I'm going to the Super Bowl. I don't care about a Pro Bowl.
No, I agree. We talked about that too, I think, at one point, how he was snubbed.
I mean, most players that have aspirations for the Super Bowl care very little for it.
Because they can't play.
They can't play in it anyway. So
yeah.
Well, they used to be able to play, but then
I know, we know. It used to be because the Pro Bowl.
It's good that you switched it.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact now that they're traveling around instead of just going to Hawaii, though. That's a good idea.
The Pro Bowl will never be interesting to me. No one cares.
I never, even when I was younger, I never cared about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
They used to fucking wear jerseys and shorts.
Right, yeah.
In Pro Bowl. They don't care. It's a glorified.
I could say this, at least in basketball, it's like a whole bunch of nonsense the first half and third quarter, and then in that fourth quarter, they're playing like it's the finals for like that last fourth quarter. You can at least say that.
It's like baseball too with the All-Star game. At least you know, like whoever wins gets home field advantage for the World
Right, it
Series.
means something. But
What are you going to get for the Super? I mean, what are you going to get from the Pro Bowl?
Nothing.
It ain't like you're going to the home stadium to play the fucking Super Bowl.
Well, they don't even
in a neutral location.
The only reason I think the Pro Bowl is not that entertaining is we as football fans, what do we like to see? We like to see hits. They're not going to hit each other. It's a vacation.
No, it's like like flag football.
I will say this.
Flag football game.
No, I agree. I will say this though. The one thing they did change that made it where it was like, oh wow, that is a very interesting way to do it. It was no longer NFC versus AFC. They were doing it where they were drafting. They were taking team captains, right? I think what was it? Michael Irvin was one. Was he?
Yes, and Deion Sanders was the
other. And Deion Sanders. They were taking team captains and they were picking their team.
Are they doing that again this year, or are they going back to AFC?
I don't know.
Yeah, but the only problem with that was, Joe, was like the concept was cool, but it just still didn't make the game any more interesting.
No. I still didn't watch it. No. I'm saying I didn't watch it.
I think they did it that way because of the pandemic, though, because they know that they didn't have fans. Like they couldn't put fans in the seats, so they did.
I don't know.
A little more.
That's true. Maybe they could have done it for that. I don't know if they're doing that format again, but again, it's not something that and I could say the same thing for the baseball All-Star game. I don't really watch it. I'll watch the home run derby. It's fun because that's just action. But as far as that, I've never really watched, I never watched the NBA All-Star game, even when I was into basketball back in the Jordan days, when I went for the Bulls and hated the Knicks. Sorry, Joanne.
In New York.
That's just how I was. That's how I was. If I don't like a team, I'm a fan of every team. Ask me how many times I rooted for Reggie Miller and the Pacers. Yep. That's right. I'm talking about Rick Smits. I'm talking about Dutchman. You're talking about Dutchman or Dutch Boy, whatever he was called. Dutch Boy. I think it was called.
Never tell Joel any of this. Don't say any of this ever to
But
Joel.
yeah. So I never really cared for any of the hockey All-Star game. I never.
I think the first and only time I watched hockey was when the Rangers won the Stanley Cup, because it took them like 50 years to get there.
Oh no, I'll watch. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch NBA playoffs, NBA finals. I'll watch NHL playoffs and Stanley Cup finals. I like it when it means when the stakes are higher. Same thing could be said about the World Cup. I don't watch soccer a day in my life, but when the World Cup happens or the Euro Cup, I'm a fan, fair weather fan. But
Brandon thinks Ocho Cinco should play the Pro Bowl.
I agree. No, you're laughing. Why not? I agree. I think you should let.
What about Larry?
I think you should let anybody that wants to come and play. Anything to make it more interesting.
You know what? I'll do you better. Pop in Barry Sanders and Dion on defense. Do it. They're not making full contact anyway. Let's see what Sanders can do. I think he's still got a little left in him. He left early.
A little left in him?
Yeah, he's got football left in him.
Played in forever.
Just not Terry Bradshaw. I don't even know if he has the mental capacity or if he's sober enough to throw the ball.
That makes it more interesting then if he's not sober.
Did you see him when he was what do you call it? Talking on the mic and handing McVay and whoever else the trophy? I think he was like slurring his words.
Yeah, man probably had a couple drinks.
Davis. Oh, speaking of that, really quick, guys, and then we'll wrap up. Davis boys, Dale and Antonio were beasts on the Pacers. Yes, they were. Antonio, especially Dale, but yes. Really quick, I thought this was very interesting, and if my brother Mike is on here listening, I'm wondering what he thinks of this. So, obviously, I watch Good Morning Football. And
yes, we know that. You're a big fan of Good Morning Football. We all know this.
But Chris Carter every now and then is on there. And Chris Carter was on there this morning. And they were talking about Super Bowls and and how even though the I don't know why it came up, but the Cowboys, remember they were winning big against the Bills. And even with that huge lead, Don Beebe did not give up and at the very last minute slap the ball out of what the fuck? Who was the defender on the fucking Cowboys that got the pick or whatever? I don't know, whatever it was. Either way. But Chris Carter let on a little secret that I never knew. I mean, who knows this shit? He said those Bills teams that went to the 4 Super Bowls in a row, he said they partied the night before heavily every Super Bowl. So they were playing hungover in every Super Bowl.
Because they knew they weren't going to win. So what the hell's the difference?
Hey, they came pretty close a couple of times. They came close against that Giants game. I mean,
wide right. You know what are you going to do?
Yeah, I agree. Listen to Jim K. Adams. Oh,
Here we go.
He has a little left in him. Dies on the field. That's great. That's great. Hey, at least he goes out doing something that he loves. All right, guys. So again, I don't know if that's something you guys really want to do. We'll talk about that off air. As far as a Friday, not this Friday, but the following Friday, right before the Super Bowl, if you want to do something. But as of now, maybe we'll come on next Monday and talk about a little football, maybe some news. Hey, maybe Brady makes it official by then. Maybe Aaron will make it official where he wants to go, because he did say sometime in February he was going to make his decision. So who knows?
I think Aaron's not going to say nothing until after the Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to wait till like a week before. I think he's going to wait till after everything is settled.
All right. But we'll see what happens. But I do want to thank our listeners, Nick, Brandon, listener Jim, Mike, Star Wars fanatic. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody.
Crayon Dude was MIA again this week.
Yeah, I know. Well, again, it's Hawaii time, so he's probably sleeping. But I do want to thank you guys. Don't forget, while you're on here, really quick, guys, drop a like. It helps out the channel. I know you guys are subscribed, so just earmuffs. This isn't for you. But if you're watching the show, if you come across the show and you like this content, and I got other content that's on this channel, hit that subscribe button. Helps out the channel. And speaking of channels and subscribing, Mike and Jawan's link is in the description. So as always, go in the description, go into their links, see what they got. You know, Mike's wrestling, a lot of wrestling on his show. He does other things, but mostly wrestling. And Jawan, just a lover of all things. Right, Jawan?
Mike wants to know if I like Mahomes.
I don't know. Can you do us a favor? Can you answer that question?
Joe, me and Patrick Mahomes are soulmates.
Wait, hold on really quick.
We have
that is true.
Candlelight dinners together.
That is true. Mike, what was the name you said that Boomer let slip? I was trying to remember it yesterday. I couldn't think of it.
Speaking of Boomer, did you hear the story that he?
Don't go on. No, really quick. No. Come on. What was the name that?
Poor JB got blasted out of his fucking chair yesterday by fucking Walker Hayes doing fucking Applebee cover.
What
the Applebee theme song?
What was maybe anybody knows in the chat really quick? What was the leak name for the new Washington team?
I think Joe Theismann
said Admirals.
The Admirals. What were you saying?
I'm seeing here Joe Theismann said it was the Commanders.
Okay, Washington Commanders, but yeah, the Admirals was something that Boomer let slip. That it could be the Admirals. That was one of the team names that they said. Caden, I appreciate that so much. As always, Fire, gonna go watch the Boba video. Yes, that is up on my channel now. Me and Jawan did a Book of Boba Fett spoiler review on Sunday. Yes. And we also did one for Peacemaker. I don't know if you guys are interested in that show. That's a great show. That is another one I was thinking of too. That's another team name that could happen. What do you think, Jawan? The Washington Rodgers.
The Washington Rodgers?
Well, he's talking about.
Is that an attempt to get Aaron Rodgers?
He's talking about Aaron going to the Washington football team. I said this before. I think if Aaron does get traded, he's going to an AFC team. I don't know if
you don't trade him into the NFC.
Yeah, I don't think the Packers want him in the NFC if they're going to trade him.
Let alone sending him to the 49ers. What?
Yeah.
I think trading him to the fucking Bears.
The last thing they want him to do is to pull a fucking Brett Favre and go to the fucking Vikings.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious, they hated that so much.
I think Aaron would want to go to a warmer climate, though. Get the fuck out of these cold
You're always talking about that. You're always talking about it.
I don't think it matters to him.
Say it after me. Colts.
No,
I agree, Brandon. I think that's
not what Carson
made. You made your bed with Carson Wentz. You're going to lay in it. You're going to stay in it and stay with him till he retires.
So really quick, two things. Brandon, 100%. They got what was it? Is it Hackett? What's his name? Isn't it Hackett? The OC. Wasn't it his name Hackett or something like that?
Yeah. from the Packers.
Yeah. So they did get his OC, and we would talk about Broncos for whatever. But I just got breaking news from Michael Rappaport. Brady's going to the Niners. Childhood team. I mean, that was Aaron Rodgers' childhood team too. But again, they're not going to trade him to the NFC. All right, guys. Thank you very much again. We will see you all next week, whether it's on Monday or Friday. But either way, we will definitely see you next week. Please go and stop by Mike and Juwan's channel. Give them some love. And we will see everybody real soon. Guys, have a great day. Go Big Blue. Go Giants.